Here's innovation from Goyle that takes you further. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and Goyle has innovated to stay ahead with expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. Goyle. Good energy. Here's innovation from Goyle that takes you further. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and Goyle has innovated to stay ahead with expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New Goyle Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. Goyle. Good energy. Here's innovation.
Can you hear me? Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to our mentorship sessions once again. The mentorship sessions for Nsmq 2019 are sponsored by Goyle. Goyle is the sole sponsor for Nsmq Mentorship 2019. So this morning, we have a mentor from one of our sponsoring companies coming to speak to us, and he goes by the name Julius Amegaji. I'll read a brief profile on him before he comes. So Julius is an IT lecturer at the Academic City College. He holds a master's degree in business informatics from the University of Mannheim, Germany. He has worked as a software tester and demo developer at SAP headquarters in Waldorf, Germany for a couple of years. He's passionate about using IT to optimize and solve business-related problems as well as general challenges which can be solved by technology. He consults on general software development projects and business idea development. In addition to lecturing, he holds student sessions for personal and professional development at Academic City. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Julius Amegaji.
Hi. Good morning. How are we doing this morning? I hope everybody is in a winning state, hopefully. Yeah? All right. So just as you were told, Julius is my name. I lecture in IT-related courses at Academic City College. And this morning, I'm happy to be with you to be able to share with you some food of thought during this mentoring session. What do I want to talk to you about this morning? Okay, there's a technical hitch somewhere. My slide doesn't want to move, but some food of thoughts I want to give you this morning are, one, who am I this morning? And now, who am I? Secondly, where am I? And thirdly, where will I be? Who am I? Where am I? And where will I be? To start with, who am I? So let me tell you who I am. As you already know, I'm an IT lecturer. But how did my journey of becoming an IT lecturer begin? Growing up, of course, I've gone through the normal sort of education from primary to GSS to SS. Now, in my senior secondary school, I did science. So a combination of biology, physics, chemistry, and elective maths, okay? I finished my SS, and when I was growing up, because I did science, obviously, one of the things, or one of the professions you want to go into, if you've done science, is to be what? A medical doctor. So the dream, as I was growing up, was to be a medical doctor. But interestingly, I didn't make the grades to be a medical doctor. So I applied to one of the universities. I don't want to mention the name. So I applied to that. I didn't get to do that. And let me state also here that I had to then better my grades. I did better my grades, and then I had the opportunity to now enter a tertiary institution to offer my bachelor's degree in information technology. In doing my information technology degree course, I've had to learn few basic things in IT. So you're talking about programming, you are talking about website design, you are talking about computer networks, you are talking about most of the things which are related to IT. So having that done during my undergraduate degree, the good thing about my education during my undergraduate degree was this, that one, the classroom size was small. So we always had to interact with our lecturers on a one-on-one basis, and at a point, even our lecturers became our friends. Now, I just made a statement that our lecturers became our friends, which is very, very important because as you grow, you will need to do some networking as you grow. So, having gathered the skills, some skills in IT with my undergraduate degree, then I had the opportunity to join an organization called ISEC. I don't know if some of you might have heard of it, but ISEC is a student organization worldwide where they teach you about leadership, training, and professional development, and what have you. And another unique opportunity is that you have to do an internship. There's a possibility to do an internship. So almost at the end of my undergraduate degree, I had the opportunity to do an internship in SAP Germany, and that's how come I found myself in Germany. So I did an internship for 1 year in developing software demos. So basically, you have screenshots of real systems which you have to put together into a demonstration, which are used for public speaking and demonstration to clients. Then after my internship, I asked myself, what next? Then I had the opportunity to also apply for a master's and do a master's. And that's how come I did a master's in business informatics. In doing my master's, I've had to learn things in how to relate business and IT and how to make things happen for organizations and what have you. Why am I telling you all this? In the process of my education, I've had to gain skills, I've had to work hard, and I've also had to network. So, what do you have now as students? You also have your education, and you also have now. You have your education, and you have now. What do you need to make sure in the next 5 years, 10 years, you want to be where you want to be? And these are the little competencies which you need. Competencies like skills. Are they computing skills? Are they organization skills? Are they people skills? Are they social skills? Okay? We live in a world where, fortunately, we have internet access all the time. And that gives us an opportunity to always read on anything and everything we can. So you need your competencies, your skills. You have to be able to read all the time. And then, in doing that, you are gathering knowledge. And unfortunately, I dare say that technology some way, somehow, sometimes makes us lazy, but to get to where you have to be, you will still have to put in a lot of hard work. And I'm sure a few mentors who have been here have mentioned to you that no matter what, you have to put in some hard work to do what you have to do. In putting in hard work, the second thing you have to develop is discipline. And that is why in your school, for example, at the boarding school, you have to wake up at maybe 4:30, 5 a.m. Gradually, you are getting some discipline of how to wake up early to do whatever you have to do before you get to school. You start learning. You are getting the discipline of how to learn and how to learn well. So discipline is also important. And thirdly, networking. As I mentioned earlier, during my undergraduate study and my master's study, my lecturers at a point in time became friends to me. Now, when I finished my master's, one of my lecturers, because I was a friend to him, and he at a point in time became also a mentor to me, he asked me, okay, you are done. There is an opportunity to teach in a university. Would you like to do that? So, in networking, that's how come I had to be able to come back to teach. During my internship as well, I've had to be able to make friends with people from different cultures. From Chinese to Russian to Germans, Czech Republic, and what have you. So, networking, some way, somehow, you can't do away with it because it's also important and you have to make it an integral part of you to be able to network with people. So, that is who I am. And basically, these are the few things I believe that you as students will have to recognize who you are as well. What do you have at this moment? You have your education and you have now. You have now to make it happen. You have now to learn. You have now to gain all the competencies you need. And in doing that, you need hard work, you need discipline, and you need networking and whatever you can add to that. Secondly, if you can please move to the next slide for me, since my pointer is not working. Secondly, where am I? Where are we? Of course, now we are in the auditorium of Legon campus, right? But I asked the question, where am I, or where are we, in the sense that, in which times are we now? If you can move to the next slide for me. The times in which we are now, if you have been reading or if you have been listening, we are actually in the fourth revolution now. What do we mean by the fourth revolution? It means that there was a first, there was a second, and there was a third, and now we are in the fourth revolution. In the first revolution, had to do with what? Mechanization, had to do with what? Steam power and water power. So in the first revolution, farms were mechanized. There were industries which were coming up. And people were finding ways, or nations were finding ways to be able to farm with machines, do things with machines, okay? Then in the second revolution, that was where there was a lot of mass production. And of course, the event of electricity also came about. So technology made it easy to be able to replicate or make a lot of things common. So you have industrialization of cars, for example, where cars are mass-produced. You have products which are mass-produced and what have you. Then the third revolution is where we come to the world of IT, or the world of digitization, or the world of the internet, where the internet now came about to be able to make things easy for us. Now we can sit here and even shop for something which will be delivered later to us and what have you. Our phones have been able to make us communicate. Doctors can be in India and operate someone in Ghana and what have you. So that's the third revolution. The fourth revolution in which we find ourselves is where IT is going to the next level, or digitization is going to the next level. And very soon with 4G networks and very soon with 5G networks, things are going to be at a very, very fast pace. In this fourth revolution, we are also talking about artificial intelligence. We're also talking about data science. We're also talking about machine learning. On your phones, for example, you can now tell your phone what is a fruit or what is fertilization by talking to maybe your Siri or your Alexa from Google or Cortana from Microsoft and what have you. So gradually, that is where we are going to. In the fourth revolution, hopefully, we are going to be sitting in cars where we don't drive them anymore. In the fourth revolution, we are going to be in our homes and our fridges are going to be ordering for foods which are getting short in our fridges. So you need some milk. You don't even have to think about whether you have milk or not. Your fridge will do that for you. So here you are talking about the Internet of Things. So if you can move to the next slide for me. Now, let me ask a question here. The first revolution, second, third, and the fourth, which we find ourselves in now, what is common to them? What is common to them? Anyone? Just try. I lecture, so it's okay I ask questions, right? Yes. Improving the standards of living. Okay. I'm looking for a keyword. That's good. Yes. Innovating things. Okay? Innovating things are happening. Okay? Come again. Innovative thinking. Oh, that's what you said. Good. Yes. Development. Okay. There are two things I noticed are happening with all this revolution. One, change. Two, this change comes with opportunities. And that is where you and I will have to embrace change, which is always constant. Trust me, in the next 2 or 3 years, we may hopefully be talking about the fifth revolution. In this change in which we find ourselves, which is happening every time, there are opportunities. So could you move to the slide for me? Change and opportunities. Change and opportunities. Hopefully, a time will come where in your classrooms, the teacher is going to be at the comfort of his home, which of course is happening now, and give a lecture. And what will have to happen is that, okay, he comes to the lab, and you do some lab work, and that's it. Change is coming. Are we ready for this change? So, where are we now? We are in the fourth revolution. Or we are in the fourth industrial revolution. Do we have what it takes to make sure we survive in this industrial revolution? Just like you said, it's going to take innovative thinking. It's going to take us to be able to develop and come up and go along with these changes. So, if that is the case, if change is always constant, and there are opportunities in this change, what is in there for you? What is in there for me? And that brings me to the question of where will I be? Where will you be? Where will I be And where will you be? Change is coming. Change comes with opportunities. The internet which we have today gives us almost everything. Because I'm an IT lecturer, I'm going to be a bit IT biased with where I'm going to now. You can learn any programming language at all without, hopefully, the help of anyone with the internet. Unfortunately, we as young people are spending too much time on social media. Can we use that time to better ourselves? Because trust me, with this change which is coming, and IT being the bedrock of everything, all these things, one way or the other, are being programmed. So it doesn't matter whether you are a science student, you are a Greek student, you are a visual arts student. But one thing I can tell you is that if you learn basic programming skills, you will need it some way, somehow. Because almost everything is being programmed. So, change is coming. And to be able to survive in this change, you will need skills to be able to make sure it happens for you. What are the skills you need? You need to be able to what? Manage people. You need to be able to what? Solve problems. You need to be able to critically think and innovate. How do I get these skills? By learning. And I always tell students, there are 3 things you are sent to school to do. 1 is to learn. 2 is to learn. And 3 is to learn. How do you spend your time? Our teachers are doing all they can to make sure we have everything we need to be good students, to be able to make sure we go to the best schools and what have you. Now, in terms of skills, some way, somehow, you may not realize, for example, your networking skills, how valuable they may be as at now. But in the future, you have to piggyback on them to be able to do that. Use your networking skills, and then leverage on other things. How did I get an internship? Because of the skills I had to be able to understand little programming concepts, to be able to understand how to use components, draw them together, and make a demo. How did I become a lecturer? There was an opportunity after my master's, and because of the skills I had to be able to talk to people, to be able to learn, to be able to impact knowledge, I got that opportunity to be able to lecture. So where do you want to be in the future? Do you want to be a lecturer like me? Do you want to be a teacher? Do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be a pilot, auto mechanic, a painter? Whatever it is, it's going to take hard work to get there. One of the people I admire so much is Cristiano Ronaldo, if you play football. And also Messi, I've acknowledged that. But one of the things I like about them is the fact that they have been consistent. So if you want to get to wherever you have to be, you have to be consistent at whatever you do. If you have to wake up every day 5 a.m. in the morning to do some stuff before, everybody wakes up, be consistent at that. If you have to learn a programming language and be good at it, you have to be consistent at that to do that. And in doing so, you are always doing a constant learning. You have to constantly learn. The fact that you've done science doesn't mean you don't have to know about visual arts, or you don't have to know about business administration or economics. And also, as I mentioned earlier, change is constant and it's going to be coming all the time. You will have to adapt to change. There's a book I will recommend to you to read, which is called Who Moved My Cheese? The cheese is always moving. Change is always happening. And you have to be able to adapt to change to make sure you survive. Lastly, and this is where I also plead with our teachers and lecturers who are among us, to be able to do whatever you have to do, you have to believe in yourself that you can. Our students growing up to know that they can believe in themselves to do whatever they have to do. And for the students who are here, and for us all, do we have that confidence to believe that we can be whoever we can be? In doing so, of course, you need mentors. In doing so, you need our teachers, you need our parents. So believe that you can. Now, it will be a bit biased for me to tell you that it's a straight road to be able to become who you want to be. No, it's not a straight road. Sometimes you have to go this way or go that way. And sometimes you will get tired, sometimes you get discouraged. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to find the strength to move on. And essentially, believe in God that He can take you where you want to be. So lastly, I will leave you with this from the words of Steve Jobs, who always say, or who said, stay hungry, stay foolish. Stay hungry to learn anything and everything which you can, because change is always going to be constant. And in finding the opportunities in the change which is happening, stay foolish. Stay foolish to learn, to adapt, to survive, and to be who you want to be. Thank you for this opportunity, and I hope these little food of thoughts I've left with you will be some stepping stones for you to be able to be who you want to be and what you have to do. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time with us. Before you go, I would like to open up for a few questions. If anybody has something that they want to ask our mentor today, if it's IT related, if it's related to his life and his academic work, you can lift up your hand, the mic will come to you, and then he will address your question. So any questions, please? We'll take a maximum of 2 before he leaves. So if you have a question, please raise your hand. The mic will come to you, and then he will address your question. Okay, we have no questions. Thank you very much once again, Julius.
Hopefully, Prof will do the questioning.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time with us. This is still the mentorship session for Nsmq 2019, and we are sponsored by GOIL. We will come to you once again with more mentorship another time. Thank you very much for your time.
Here's innovation from GOIL that takes you further. New Gold Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and GOIL has innovated to stay ahead with expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. GOIL. Good